Alrighty, back with a pull day. Starting off with just some easy pull ups and somewhat easier Yates rows, Barber rows. Not even looking for a full contraction at the moment, just warming up the back and rear delts, traps, rhomboids, you know the deal. Getting more, using the band as more of a guide than anything, just to keep more stable. Since being a shorty like this, I've got to use the steps to get up there, midget problems. King of the 5'5" and under crew here. Just warming up with the bar first of all, but yeah, still warming up. 20 kilos aside. Probably only going to top out about 100 to 110. Bright and early in the morning at 5 a.m. So taking extra care to just make sure everything's nice and warm up. Making sure the nervous system is, raring and going. Just pumping out a couple, trying to wake the body up. This is something I've just started doing, putting a band around the power rack and doing more pullovers. Makes the constant tension on it really nice. Feeling everything as well, making sure that there's no tweaks, especially in the shoulders, especially when you do a push and then a pull day. Look after your shoulders, make sure everything's nice and good. Just getting some creaks out, stretching, especially doing a bigger compound movement like this. I take a bit extra time warming up plate by plate, just going somewhat small increments, but since you are doing more total, I guess, sets, you don't even need to hit failure. So I'm not even going to be gassing myself or anything like this at the moment. Just a couple of reps, feel the weight, judge it, and put it back. Giving myself a little crack around the spine, just twisting up, opening the body up. All right, this will be working set 1 at the moment, 100 kilos. Trying to get real better at my pulling movements, especially on pull-ups, but rows have been just flying through. Just been getting so good at them lately. Not fully bent over as well. I love the 8 style. Slight angle, but you are just so targeting the lats as much as you can. I am using my belt for this end straps because I'm not focusing on my forearms at all. Just want the whole back to be pumping this movement. This is just about moving some weight around and feeling it as much as I can, just judging it so I can progress. All right, we are topping out at a 110 kilos, 45 kilos a side, and then the bar's 20. My strength of these has just been going up lately. Haven't been going too heavy on it, capping around 120 kilos, but just getting the reps cleaner every week and doing the whole rest pause sort of thing. Do my set, take a little breather, and then get some extra reps out of it. As you can see, I think the work has been paying off, especially around my rear delts and upper back. Just been getting, way more visible, especially cutting off the body fat, shedding all that off. But this has probably been just the nicest sort of prep I've been doing, just being smart and patient with it. I'm actually really preferring doing these like 5 a.m. and ish earlier workouts and just finishing off with some pullovers, really just burning through those lats. Not even a pure failure thing, just a bit extra mind muscle connection on that to feel it, and just finishing the set off, second working set. Just getting some fully focused, clean reps at the end of it. Just really feeling it as much as I can, getting as much contraction and like mechanical tension as possible. And just warmed up with, just pull-ups and going to do some partials now. Wide grip partials and then into probably the close grip partials. And the band's more so there just as a guide, if anything. Not really, I'll be using it for support, of course, and all that, but it's more so there just for the pullovers and as a guide. Doing really small partials, trying to keep the tension there the whole time. Don't need to do the full rep, of course. And especially after, this was straight after the row, so I was a bit knackered anyway. But yeah, just getting that partial in there to get a constant mechanical tension on it. These first 2 exercises, like pull-ups and the rows, just looking to burn out. And at this point, with the band, I'm just feeling whatever joints and all that I've got going on, just making sure there's no niggles or anything like that. Now, at this point, I'm just going to get some chalk because you're getting really sweaty hands, the liquid chalk. And you'll see I'm just going to go over to the fan to dry them off quicker. Otherwise, they're going to be there for about a minute. But this just takes about 20 seconds, get all the liquid and the water out of it. But, you don't even really need to bother about that too much. You can blow them with your breath and all that. But even just a tiny bit, and they just go all over your hands. You can see my white mitts and nice wide grip on here. So you don't even need to pull up all the way. This isn't a pull day where I'm focused on my, vertical pulls. It's more of a horizontal pull day for me. Next one, I'll probably be targeting the pull-ups a lot more seriously, maybe even add some weight. Yeah, just doing the partials as well, just to feel it as much as I can at the bottom portion of the rep, especially when you're in that fully stretched position. That's kind of where it can matter the most. Getting nice and wide here, actually looking, the lats are actually popping out a lot now at this point. Quick and easy, about 2 working sets still per exercise at this point. Now, as you see here, I'm going to just get these little plates because we're going to go to the close grip T-bar rows. Still warming up, slowly on each exercise, just feeling the movement before I hammer it as much as I can. Just going to do warm up plate by plate. And yeah, we're starting to look a lot better with a pump now, especially leaning out. But this is a point where I'm really needing chalk, especially having the hyperhidrosis where I just have exceptionally sweaty hands. So having that chalk is a lifesaver. And especially when it's the rubber, shitty grips around the metal handles, I'd much prefer the standard metal ones. But I am not looking to put my grips or straps around them. Just want to get the pure forearms working in all this as well. Once again, I like having a band with me at all times just to pump the rear delts, pump the back, make sure the rotator cuffs, make sure the shoulders, that's all just working nice and easy. You can see how they're just popping out the back, the traps, rear delts, they're just starting to pop out. You've got to really target those things. You don't want any imbalances at all. Too many people are so push heavy and get rounded backs because of it. I'm pretty sure this is the first working set of 60 kilos, so 3 plates. And yeah, just feeling the motion as much as we can. I still am standing by that flow. You do not need to be pure strict form. I think that is a detriment if you are doing it to a fault. If you're so strict on it, it's going to have a fault. And yeah, I was going to keep the weight, but I felt like just that little bit extra, and you want a progressive overload. So even if you're adding just 2.5 kilos, 5 kilos for your next set, just to judge the weight and see how much you are improving by. Trying to keep that tension there as much as possible. These are one of my favorite movements for back as well. You need to focus on really pulling with your elbows. That's how you're going to target your lats. We are trying to get wider as we can. Not too concerned with the thickness. I am a bit of a thick one, especially mentally. But no, this is definitely a movement that I stand by. This is one of the best ones you can do. Close grip, and then you don't need to do if your whole workout has only close grip, what are you doing? Change your grips up if you're doing different exercises. Go pronated, go supinated, and a neutral grip. You need to change your grips up, have some variety in it. It will target your muscles in a much better fashion instead of doing the same grip over and over and over. It's if you're doing pull downs, you go pronated grip, supinated grip. All right, that's the bulk of the work done for back. So at this point, we're just checking the physique, checking the pump, checking the waist. We're actually looking pretty good and lean at this point. I'm just going to finish off with spamming the rear delts and a bit of curls to finish it off with. Just felt like using the dumbbells and barbells today. Really, I didn't really need to get on a machine or anything like that today, especially after doing a near full like cable machine yesterday. I just missed the barbells and dumbbells, the basics of what you need sometimes. And yeah, looking juicy now, shoulders and arms are fully pumped up at this point. And yeah, like the lats are just popping out. The waist is getting a bit tighter, everything's leaning out a bit more. You can see the serratus muscles on the ribs are starting to pop out too. Getting the veins showing and all that. It's starting to look a lot better now. Leaning out, still just iron it off, judging it by day. Even there will be days where you look a little less leaner than you are. That's just the process. You got to trust it. You got to be patient with it. Honestly, and yeah, getting a bit juicy at this point now, especially with the down lighting, the reflection. We're starting to look a lot better now that we're setting into it. This is day 14, so 2 weeks into the consistent deficit, we are tightening up a lot more. The next fortnight so the 28th, that'll be a lot different though. But yeah, we're looking good. The leanness is showing, the shadows, the separations, and yeah, the peak on the bicep there. We are looking good. Best my shoulders and arms have ever looked, and the traps are popping now. And at this point, we're getting pretty gassed. We've only been up for a little bit, had the pre-workout meal, of course. See how my palms are at the base side of the dumbbell, so we can get that full twist. Don't need to do many sets at all for the biceps on a pull day. Just want to target them because I enjoy them. And we are just fully focusing on that squeeze at this point and trying to get more growth in the forearms too. So at this point, we'll be grabbing the fat grips as well for some more curls later on. But at this point, it's more so just a pump check, really, just enjoying it. You got to enjoy it every now and then. Yeah, you can see I'm already getting a bit gassed, but it's not even really fluff work. It's just more so getting a pump, seeing how we're looking, judging if there's how much water I've got on me, how much fat I've got on me, what kind of more work needs to be done. I should be upping my cardio soon too, but more so, just feeling the body, getting a good pump, twist, and you're going to get a different sort of motion on that bicep. You've got your two heads, you do your hammer curls, and you do your massive twists on your normal dumbbell curls. But yeah, we are starting to get good in the arms. They're all so pumped up. You look completely different with a pump, without a pump, when you are lean. The more body fat you have, the less of a difference it actually makes when you have a pump. But the leaner you get, the more difference it will show. Getting good peaks on the biceps. Now, there's a lot of fat coming off my upper body now at this point. It's mainly only hanging around my lower back and at my waist where my belly button is. That's really the last place for it to ever go on me. Yeah, the peaks are starting to really pop out now. There's so little fat on my pure upper body at this point, which is really good. Yeah, just getting a pump to really finish off the arms, just burn them out at this point. Not going so heavy duty on them. This is more just for a bit of show and all that, just looking good. Trying to keep the waist tight and all that too. Like flexing your core and all that when you're doing exercises, that's gonna help keep things nice and tight. This was actually more of a quicker, high intensity. There was fewer exercises involved in this, but the work was still done. The intensity was there. The mechanical tension was there. Still overall happy with it, especially how my rows have been improving, which means progress is being made. If you're getting better with the same weight at an exercise, you are progressing, which is what you want. Then yeah, just looking at my body, checking myself out at this point, just seeing what's improving, keeping eye on the prize and all that, of course. you don't want to ever get discouraged, but that's kind of going to be it soon at this point. Just finishing off with a nice quick workout, nice quick flex. Wasn't there for too long, but as long as you're going intense, then your duration doesn't matter. Even under an hour, I think this fully took about 45 minutes. Just nice and quick, get in, get out, do the work.